Welcome students, welcome to solid mechanics class. This is Joydeep sir. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is deflection of beam. It is observed that when a beam or a cantilever is subjected to some type of loading, it deflects from its initial original position. The amount of deflection depends upon its cross-sectional area and bending moment. These days, the strength and stiffness are two main design criteria for a beam or a cantilever. According to strength criterion of the beam design, the beam should adequately strong to resist the shear force and the bending moment. In other words, the beam should be able to resist the shear stresses and bending stresses. But according to stiffness, mathematically we can say uh, W by delta, where W is the applied load and delta is the maximum deflection or the slack. The criterion of beam design, which is equally important, and the beam should be adequately stiff to resist deflection. In other words, the beam should be stiff enough not to deflect more than permissible limit. Okay. So when a load is placed on a beam, the beam tends to deflect as shown in this figure. Okay, this is the beam with without load, and this is the beam with load. Okay, the load is W. So under the load, the neutral axis becomes a curved line, and this is called the elastic curve, and the deflection y is vertical distance between the point on an elastic curve and the unloaded neutral axis. This is the unloaded neutral axis, this one, and this curve line is the elastic curve, this one. Okay. So if floor beams or joints deflect too far, the plaster on ceiling under them may crack, although no damage on the structure may result. The appearance on the ceiling may be ruined. Okay. So also a floor supported by such beams may be so out of level that its usefulness for machinery may be impaired. Okay. So let's see the relation between the slope deflection and the radius of curvature. So as you can see in this figure, AB is a beam. Okay, this is AB, and DS is the length of a beam, the small portion length of the beam. Okay, C is the center of the arc, that AB beam makes a makes an arc. Okay, so C is the center of the arc, and alpha, this angle alpha, is the angle which the tangent at A makes with x-axis, and alpha plus d alpha is the angle which the tangent at B makes with x-axis. Okay, that means a beam makes a curvature like this. So at now we are going to take a tangent from point B, and the angle is alpha plus d alpha, and this d alpha is this angle, and this small portion is ds. We are assuming this is a straight line portion because this is the small portion of the beam, so small that we can assume it's a straight line. Okay, and so we can also assume a differential triangle with base dx and height dy. Okay, and hypo as ds. So from the geometry, from this geometry, we can write ds is equals to r into d alpha, r into d alpha. R is the radius of curvature, r is the radius of curvature. That means r is the distance from this C point to B point or C point to A point. This distance is the radius of curvature. Okay, C to A, C to A or C to B. This radius is R, radius of curvature. So we can write ds is equals to R into d alpha, or we can write that is R equals to ds by d alpha. Okay, since the ds value is very small, that is the elementary length, okay, ds, so we can assume assuming ds is equals to dx. We are going to assume ds equals to dx, so we can write that is R equals to dx by d alpha. Okay, or d alpha by dx is equals to 1 by R. D alpha by dx equals to 1 by R, or d alpha by dx equals to 1 by R. Okay, now if the coordinate point of A, the coordinate point of A is x comma y, if the coordinate point of A is x comma y, so we can write tan alpha is equals to dy by dx, and this thing comes from the geometry, and since this alpha angle is very small, so we can simply write alpha is equals to dy dx, alpha equals to dy dx. Okay, so from the previous equation, that is 1 by r equals to d alpha by dx. Okay, so from that equation we can write that is d alpha by dx is equals to, from this equation we can write d2y dx2, so the double derivative of y. So d alpha by dx is equals to 1 by r is equals to d2y dx2. Okay, also we know that from the relation, we know that is m by I is equals to E by R. Okay, so we can write that is m equals to EI by R. Okay, from this relation we can write m equals to EI by R. So suppose this is equation 2 and this is equation 3. From so from equation 2 and 3, from equation 2 and 3 we can write that is, by substituting the value of 1 by r, we can write m equals to EI d2y dx2, m equals to d2y dx2. So this equation is based only on the bending moment. The effect of shear force is being very small and has been neglected, okay, in this equation. So let's talk about the sign convention. So first one is, the x is positive when measured towards right, y is negative when measured towards downward, and m is negative when it's hogging, and the slope is negative when the relation is clockwise, when the rotation is clockwise. Okay, so now the method used for finding out the slope and deflection. So first one is the double integration method, second method is the moment area method, and third one is Macaulay's method. Okay, so we will start from the double integration method, the cantilever beam. Okay, so let's see. So this is the first case, that is cantilever beam concentrated load at the free end. So we are going to solve this problem using double integration method. So as you can see, this AB is the cantilever beam, W is the load is applied at the free end, the length of the beam is L. Okay, and the after deflection, the slope angle is theta b, and this y max is the maximum deflection. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to take a length, that is x, from the free end. Okay, this is a suppose if you consider this one is the x section, this is the x, and this one is also the x, this is the x section. So the distance of this x section from the fixed end is small x. So this length is L minus x. Okay, obviously. So now the and also one thing, the moment of inertia about the neutral axis is I, capital I. Okay, so the moment at the point x, okay, will be, the moment at the point x will be m suffix x is equals to minus w L minus x. Okay, we know that this thing from the shear force bending moment diagram. So now from the relation, the deflection relation, that is m equals to ei into d2y dx2, from that relation we can write, that is E is the modulus of elasticity and I is the moment of inertia, into d2y dx2 is equals to minus w L minus x. Okay, so we can write this thing. Now we are going to integrate this equation, and let's see what happened. So by integrating, by integrating we get ei into dy dx, is equals to minus w Lx minus x square by 2 plus c1, where c1 is the constant, an arbitrary constant. C1 equals to some constant. Okay, so now at point A is the fixed point. Okay, at point A we can write the x value, x is 0, and also the slope, that is dy dx, is also 0. Okay, so by applying these two boundary conditions into this equation, this above equation, we can find the value of c1 is equals to 0. Okay, so now the equation of slope is becomes, so by integrating this deflection equation, after first integration we get this kind of equation. Now by applying this boundary condition we get a equation and this is called the slope equation. So now we are going to find out the value of slope at point B. That means at point A the slope is obviously 0, we know that, and but at point B the x equals to L, and the slope, that is at point B the slope is theta b, okay, theta b, and that is equals to dy dx equals to minus w by ei into L minus L square by 2. So the value of the slope or theta b becomes minus wl square by 2ei. So the value of slope at point B is wl square by 2ei. This is the value of the slope, okay. Now to get the deflection, we have to integrate again the equation number 1. That means we have to integrate again the slope equation, okay. So from equation 1, by integrating the equation 1, we can write ei into y is equals to minus w L into x square by 2 minus x cube by 6 plus c2, okay. So again let's apply the boundary conditions. So at point A the value of x is 0 and the value of deflection y is also 0. So we can write, so by applying these two these boundary conditions, we can find the value of C2. The C2 value is also 0 from this equation, by applying this boundary condition into this equation. So we can write, that is ei into y is equals to minus w into L x square by 2 minus x cube by 6, okay. This is the equation number 2, okay. This is the equation number 2. This equation is known as the deflection equation. This equation is known as the deflection equation, okay. So now we are going to we're going to find out the deflection at point B. So at point B, at point B we can say that, or we can write x, the value of x is L, okay, the capital L. So the deflection value at point B, or at point when the x value is L, we can write yb is equals to minus w by ei into L cube by 2 minus L cube by 6, okay. So the value becomes minus WL cube by 3ei. This is the deflection at point B, okay. So this is the expression of deflection at point B. So the slope and deflection at point B is theta b equals to WL square by 2ei, and yb, the deflection at point B, is minus WL cube by 3ei. So this is the case number 2, where this is cantilever beam with a load W at a distance A from a fixed end, okay. So the length of the cantilever beam is AB, or the total length is L, and W is the concentrated load. Okay, and the distance of W from the fixed end is small a. As the total length is L, so the distance of W from the free end is L minus a. The slope at point B is theta c. Suppose we are assuming that this point is C. Okay, if this point is C, one second, this point is C, the slope at point this point is theta c. Okay, so let's start, and this is a xx section. The distance of the xx section is x from the fixed end. Okay, so let's start. So the bending moment at point x, okay, or at the section x is m suffix x is equals to minus w into a minus x. This w into at point this is a minus x. This load into this distance. Okay, load into this distance a minus x. So we can write m equals to ei d2 by dx2 is equals to minus w into a minus x. Okay, so now we are going to integrate this equation. So by integrating this equation, we get ei dy dx is equals to minus w into ax minus x square by 2 plus c1. Okay, where the c1 is a constant, the integrating constant. C1 is the integrating constant. So now at the at the fixed end, that means at point A, at the fixed end at point A, we can write x value is 0 and the deflection is also 0, that is dy dx. The slope is 0, sorry, not the deflection, the slope is 0. So by applying these two conditions, the boundary conditions, we can find out the value of C1. The value of C1 is 0. By applying these two boundary conditions into this equation, we get C1 is 0. So we can write, therefore we can write ei dy dx is equals to minus w into ax minus x square by 2. Suppose this is equation 1. So this is the slope equation. Okay, so this equation is the slope equation. Okay, so now again, to find out the slope at point C, okay, the condition is that at point C the x value is a. At point C the x value is a. So at point C we can write x is equal to a. Therefore theta c, that is the slope at point C, is equals to dy dx is equals to minus w by ei into a square minus a square by 2. Okay, so we can write that is theta c is equals to minus WA square by 2EI. So this is the slope expression, okay, at point C, that is theta c. So as there is no load at BC section, so that means there will be no bending moment. So we can write the slope at point C is equals to the slope at point B, that means theta c equals to theta b, that is equals to WA square by EI. So now to find out the deflection, so let's integrate the equation 1, that means the slope equation. So by integrating equation number 1, by integrating equation number 1, we get, that is EI into Y is equals to minus W into A x square by 2 minus x cube by 6 plus C2. A into x square by 2 minus x cube by 6 plus C2. So where obviously C2 is the integrating constant, and at point A, we can say that the x value is 0 obviously, and deflection is 0, okay. So from this condition, by applying this condition into the above equation, we find the C2 value is obviously 0, okay. So now we can write EI into Y is equals to minus W A x square by 2 minus x cube by 6, okay. This is the equation number 2, okay. And this equation, we can write this equation as a deflection equation, okay. So by applying these conditions, C2 equals to 0, into the above equation, this equation, we get EI into Y is equals to minus W into AX square by 2 minus x cube by 6. Now 6, okay. So now the deflection at point C. So to find out the deflection at point C, we can write, that is by putting x equals to, that means to find the deflection, at point C, we can write, that is x equals to A. So by applying these conditions, x equals to A, we can write Y suffix C is equals to minus W by EI, into A cube by 2 minus A cube by 6, okay. So we can write, that is minus W A cube by 3EI, minus W A cube by 3EI. This is the deflection at point C. Now since it's a downward deflection, but the to find out the total deflection at point B, first we have to look out the geometry. From this geometry, we can write the deflection at point B, that means the deflection from B to D plus the deflection from D to B dash, okay. So that means we can write, that is the deflection CC dash, this length CC dash is equals to BD. CC dash is equals to BD, and that is equals to YC. Okay, this value is equals to YC. From the geometry we can find out this. So we can write YC equals to BD, and the value B dash D or dB dash is equals to dC dash tan theta c, dC dash tan theta c, or we can write this dC dash is equals to the value BC. Okay, these are the same length, that is BC, and tan theta c, or we can write BC into theta c, or so B dash D is equals to BC into theta c, because the tan, we can write tan theta c is nearly equals to theta c, since the value of theta c is very small. Okay, so the value of BC is L minus A, and the value of theta c is nothing but, we have already find out the value, that is W into A square by 2EI, W into A square into 2EI. Okay, so this is the value of B dash D. So now the deflection at point B, that means YB, the deflection at point B is YB, that is equals to B to B dash, so that is equals to BD plus dB dash. Now by substituting the value of this, we can write the value of BD is minus WAQ by 3EI, and the value of B dash D or dB dash is nothing but L minus A into WA square by 2EI. Okay, so the deflection, so the slope and deflection at point B is, the slope is theta B equals to theta C equals to WA square by 2EI. This is WA square by 2EI, and this is the slope, and the deflection at point B is minus WAQ by 3EI minus WA square by 2EI into L minus A. Okay, so as you can see, this is the third case where a cantilever beam of length L carrying uniformly distributed load of M per unit run over the whole length, and the length is L. Okay, so AB is the beam, the length is total length is L. Okay, and the load uniformly distributed load is M per unit length. Okay, so in this case we have taken distance x from the fixed end, that point A. Okay, so the moment at point X, becomes, we can write, that is M suffix x is equals to minus M into L minus x whole square by 2. Okay, this thing we know, this is a formula, this comes from the shear force bending moment diagram. Okay, or we can write EI d2y dx2 is equals to minus M L minus x square by 2. Okay, so now we are going to integrate this equation. Okay, so let's see what happened after integrating this. So by integrating, we get, that is ei into dy dx is equals to, that is plus m by 6 into L minus x cube plus c1. Okay, so after integrating the above equation, we get this form, and this c1 is the integration constant. Okay, so at point A, that means the fixed point, at the fixed point A, we can write the x value is 0 and the slope, that is dy dx, is also 0 at point A. So by substituting these values, okay, that is x equals to 0 and dy dx equals to 0 into this above equation, we get c1 equals to minus m l cube by 6. We get m l cube minus m l cube by 6. Okay, so now by substituting the value of c1 into this above equation, the equation that comes after integrating the moment equation, we get ei dy dx is equals to uh, m by 6, or plus, simply write plus m by, into L minus x cube minus m L cube by 6. Okay, so we can assume this is the equation number 1 and this is the slope equation. So this is the slope equation, equation number 1. So now by to find out the slope at point B, we have to substitute x equals to L. That means at point B, x equals to L. Okay, so after substituting the value x equals to L, we get ei into theta b. Theta b is the slope, that is dy dx. Theta b is the dy dx. Okay, that is equals to m by 6 into L minus L cube minus m L cube by 6. Okay, so we get theta b is equals to minus m L cube by 6 ei, m L cube by 6 ei. This is the value of theta c, or we can write equals to minus capital W L square by 6 ei, where W is the total load. Okay, W is the total load, that is the load per unit length. W is the total load, where m is the load per unit length into the total length. Okay, m is the load per unit length into the length. Okay, that is equals to W. W is the total length. So theta b is the slope at point B. So again, by integrating equation number 1, that means the slope equation. Okay, by integrating the slope equation, we get ei into y equals to minus m by 24 into L minus x to the power 4 minus m L to the power 3 or L cube by 6 into x plus c2. Okay, so by integrating the slope equation we get this. Okay, again in this case also the c1 is the integrating constant, or simply you can write constant. So at point we can write at point a, at point a x is 0 and also the deflection, that is y, is 0. So by substituting these two values into this equation, the above equation, we get c2 is equals to w L to the power 4 by 24, w L to the power 4 by 24. So this is the value of c2. Okay, so now we are going to substitute the value of c2 into this equation that has come by double integrating the moment equation. So therefore we can write ei into y, that is equals to minus m by 24 into L minus x to the power 4 minus m L cube x by 6 plus m L to the power 4 by 24. So this is equation 2, and this equation is a deflection equation. This is a deflection equation. Okay, so now at point b, at point B we can write x equals to L. So by substituting the x equals to L we get ei to yb is the deflection at point B, minus m by 24 into L minus L to the power 4 minus m L to the power 4 by 6 plus m L to the power 4 by 24. Okay, so by simplifying this equation we get yb is equals to minus w L to the power 4 by 8 ei, minus L to the power 4 by 8 ei, or we can write minus w L cube by 8 ei. Similarly, w is the total load. Okay, what w is the total load. Okay, so the slope and deflection, at point B, slope and deflection at point B is slope is theta b, and that is equals to minus ml cube by 6 ei, or we can write minus wl square by 6 ei, and deflection, that is yb, is equals to minus m L to the power 4 by 8 ei, or minus wl cube by 8 ei. Okay, so these are the expression for slope and deflection for cantilever carrying uniformly distributed load over the whole span. Okay, let's do a numerical. It says that a cantilever 1.5 meter long carries a UDL, uniformly distributed load, over an entire length. Find the deflection at the free end if the slope at the free end is 1.5 degree. Okay, so the value of, now let's start. So the value of the length is 1.5 meter. Okay, and at the free end the deflection, the slope, that is theta, is the theta value is 1.5 degree. So we have to convert this thing into radian. That is pi by 80 into 1.5 radian. Okay, so we know that the slope at free end, the formula of slope at free end, that means we know that the slope formula, that is theta, is equals to, for UDL the slope expression is m L cube by 6 EI. m L cube by 6 EI. I am not considering the minus sign. Okay, so not without considering the minus sign, the slope expression is this, the mod value of slope. So that is equals to pi by 180 into 1.5. Okay, so the value of m L cube by EI, the value of m L cube by EI is becomes, that is pi into 1.5 into 6 by 180. So we can write that is equals to pi by 20 ml cube by EI. Okay, so now the deflection at the free end. Okay, therefore deflection at the free end, the deflection at the free end, that means y, the expression of deflection is ml to the power 4 ml to the power 4 by 8 EI. So now I am going to write this expression into this form, that is ml cube by EI into L by 8. Okay, ml cube by EI into L by 8. So we can write the value of ml cube by 8, the value of ml cube by EI is pi by 20. So this is pi by sorry. So the value of deflection equals to ml cube by EI into L by 8, and the value of ml cube by EI is pi by 20 into the value of length is 1.5 by 8. 1.5 by 8. So the answer of this deflection is 0.02945 meter, or we can write 29.45 millimeter. So the value of deflection becomes y equals to 0.02945 meter, or y equals to the deflection equals to 29.45 millimeter. 29.45 millimeter. So in this lecture we have learned about what is deflection. We have proved the relation between the moment equation, that is the deflection equation, that is m equals to EI into d2y dx2, and we have already started the double integration method for cantilever beam, and we have learned the three type of situation for cantilever beam, and also we have done a simple numerical on it. Okay, in the next lecture we will learn about the simply supported beam, the double integration method for simply supported beam, and the moment of area method, this kind of thing. Okay, thank you.